hasn't run out of material. He's using that as a sort of bargaining piece. He said that he's got enough for a second book.
Do you believe...
Meghan thought it was hilarious and she began laughing, and then Melissa started laughing. Nothing wrong with that, but you just felt that
it was a good opportunity to be a victim. But otherwise, I think that it's just a...
What if I told you something so outrageous, so explosive, that it could shake the royal family to its very core? What if I told you that Prince Archie, yes, the little boy who is sixth in line to the British throne, might not even be who everyone believes he is? Shocking, right? But buckle up, because new whispers are spreading like wildfire. Whispers backed by evidence so chilling it could turn everything we thought we knew about Harry and Meghan's children upside down. Forget their Netflix deals, forget their sob-filled Oprah interviews. This scandal is about something far bigger. It's about bloodlines, legitimacy, and the kind of questions so devastating that they could erase Archie and Lilibet from the royal succession in one brutal stroke. The monarchy, the throne, the very future of the crown, suddenly all of it is under fire.
You could see she couldn't contain her anger, her fury, just the same.
And here's the kicker, the most jaw-dropping part of this whole mess. Harry and Meghan's outright refusal to provide the one tiny, simple, straightforward piece of proof that could silence all of this speculation instantly. One piece of evidence that would shut every critic down. But no, instead of clarity, they hide behind silence.
Before we dive into this explosive story, make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell, because this scandal is developing fast and you won't want to miss what happens next.
And that silence? Oh, it's deafening. Take their anniversary this year, for example. A day that should have been celebrated. A day that once would have been plastered across Instagram and tabloids. But when the date rolled around this year, nothing. Not a post, not a picture, not even a staged happy couple moment. For a duo who used to turn every blink, every sigh, every moment into a media circus, the quiet was thunderous.
You've been very harsh, one woman to another. I mean, you've just used the phrase, she is not fit to be part of the royal.
No tributes from Hollywood friends, no glowing messages from their inner circle. Nothing but silence. And let's be honest, this wasn't the kind of dignified silence that commands respect. This was the silence of a love story gone stale, of a fairy tale that had well and truly ended. A silence that screamed louder than any paparazzi flashbulb ever could.
I finally managed to get my hands on a bottle of Meghan's, as ever, rosé wine. I'm going to try it.
And just when everyone thought maybe the Sussex circus had finally calmed down, royal expert Angela Levin came in like a thunderstorm and dropped a bombshell so massive it sent shockwaves across every royal-watching corner of the globe. Angela didn't just raise questions, she detonated them. With razor-sharp precision, she said out loud what millions had whispered for years but never dared speak. Archie and Lilibet's parentage might not be as clear-cut as the Sussex PR machine wants you to believe.
Someone says yes, and someone loves him for himself because she didn't know very much about the royal.
Her words cut like a blade through years of carefully polished PR. And here's the thing, she wasn't cruel about it. No, Angela came with facts, with logic, with the quiet authority of someone who's seen it all before. She pointed out what everyone else was too scared to mention. Why were there no transparent hospital moments? Why no proper documentation? Why toss aside centuries-old royal traditions that every mother before Meghan had respected without question? The answer, that same heavy silence, the silence that speaks louder than any confession.
King Charles has enlisted the help of the woke Archbishop of Canterbury to broker a deal between his warring sons.
But Angela's revelation wasn't just harmless chatter. No, it was a direct, merciless challenge to legitimacy itself. The kind of challenge you can't just sweep under the rug with a glossy Netflix special or a staged photo shoot. And Prince Harry's response? Oh, it revealed everything. Instead of calmly producing proof to shut it all down, Harry did what he does best when cornered. He threatened to sue. The man who once wore a soldier's uniform, who boasted he could take on the world, suddenly crumbled under the weight of a few pointed questions. Instead of strength, what did we see? Fury, panic, and the brutal irony? His reaction only made the whispers louder.
Do you think that they look happy together? I mean,
They never look happy together, actually, more than a minute. I mean, on this...
Here's the thing about legal threats. They don't smother rumors. They breathe oxygen into them. They feed them. And that's exactly what happened when Harry sent his lawyers charging after Angela Levin. The world didn't sigh, oh, poor Harry. The world leaned in, raised eyebrows, and whispered, what is he hiding? Because let's face it, if you're innocent, you don't need a battalion of high-priced lawyers to fight your battles. A confident father, a man secure in his truth, would have ended this circus with one move: evidence. But Harry? Oh, he went red-faced, tantrum-prone and desperate. He looked less like a prince defending his family and more like a reality TV star caught in a scandal he couldn't spin.
Allegedly offering thousands to a shady private investigator. Even Baroness Lawrence, a respected public figure, was reported.
Every threat Harry made, every letter his lawyers drafted, only confirmed the whispers. People didn't see a brave prince. They saw a man cornered, terrified of exposure. And through it all, Meghan, she vanished into the shadows. The woman who branded herself the warrior queen, who once strutted before cameras with calculated poise, suddenly disappeared. She left Harry swinging at shadows, drowning in a storm of his own making. Partnership? Hardly. This was abandonment. Meghan let Harry burn in public while she kept her image clean.
He was apparently screaming to the producers, very, very annoyed at what they'd asked her, and I imagine.
And that right there was the dagger in the heart of their reputation. Meghan watched from the sidelines as Harry flailed and destroyed whatever shreds of credibility they had left. Every angry punch Harry threw made him look weaker, not stronger. Each legal threat became another nail hammered into the coffin of their so-called Sussex brand. And let's be brutally honest, his lawyers weren't acting like weapons of defense. They were white flags, surrender disguised as action. Because when you're innocent, you don't need a squadron of attorneys. You need one simple, undeniable thing, the truth. And the truth was the one thing Harry flatly refused to give.
Now about the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle, who likes to be on the front cover of magazines. She likes to be on TV.
In fact, every single legal document Harry filed only amplified Angela Levin's point. He wasn't acting like a father shielding his children from cruelty. He was acting like a man petrified of what might be revealed. And here's the tragic twist. It wasn't just his anger that did the damage. It was his blindness, his complete inability to see how this all looked to the world outside his Montecito bubble. Once, Harry was the cheeky prince with the easy smile, the military hero who had earned real respect. Now, he'd reduced himself to a lawsuit-happy celebrity raging in courtrooms and hiding behind lawyers. His transformation was total and devastating.
I think the marriage is very near finished, and it will be, she will sort of walk away. Sorry, and...
At the heart of all this drama is one thing. 3 simple letters, DNA, that's it. Just 3 letters that could have ended this circus in an instant. But instead, Harry and Meghan treat DNA like it's toxic, like it's radioactive waste. They act as if one swab of the cheek could trigger the end of the world. And here's the irony that has everyone shaking their heads. In today's world, people take DNA tests for fun. Families uncover lost relatives, discover shocking family secrets, and then post it all proudly on social media. Yet Harry and Meghan, they act like one test would blow up Buckingham Palace. And maybe, just maybe, that's exactly what they fear. Journalists, commentators, royal experts, even those who once defended them, began demanding proof. Not staged photographs where angles can be manipulated, not polished Netflix footage where every frame is controlled, not carefully timed hospital moments that can be stage managed. What the world demanded was raw, cold, scientific proof, evidence that couldn't be edited or spun. But from Montecito, silence. Silence so loud it roared across every screen, every headline. Ordinary people share their ancestry results without a second thought. Yet Harry and Meghan, who have shared almost every private detail of their lives for fame and money, now claim this one thing, this one test, is too personal. And that's when the whispers turned into full-blown suspicion. And poor little Lilibet, sweet Lily, suddenly found herself dragged into the storm. Her very name, chosen to honor the late Queen Elizabeth, was supposed to be a bridge of continuity, a nod to royal tradition. Instead, it became the centerpiece of the biggest scandal to shake the monarchy in decades. Her name, tied so closely to the Queen herself, was supposed to carry grace and legacy. Instead, it carries suspicion, questions, and a constitutional headache nobody in the palace can ignore. And the cruelest whisper of all, was Lilibet even Meghan's biological child? Or was she just another brand prop in the Sussex empire of carefully curated media moments? And here's the uncomfortable truth. These aren't just petty rumors anymore. This isn't idle gossip from online trolls. No, these are serious constitutional concerns. Royal succession isn't a TikTok trend or a Netflix storyline. It's the backbone of the British monarchy, a system that has endured for over 1,000 years. Without unquestionable proof of lineage, without an ironclad bloodline, the line of succession collapses into smoke. And Harry knows it. That's why he rages, that's why he threatens, but that's also why he refuses the one thing that could end it all. Because deep down, maybe he already knows what that DNA test would reveal. The whispers about legitimacy weren't fading, they were multiplying. Every unanswered question was like fuel on a roaring fire. And this wasn't just about Meghan and Harry anymore. No, this was about the very foundation of the monarchy itself. For over 1,000 years, Britain's monarchy has stood because its line of succession was crystal clear, unbroken, and unquestionable. But now, thanks to Harry and Meghan's secrecy, that chain of legitimacy looks more like a web of confusion. Harry stomped and shouted like a man cornered, demanding respect that he no longer commanded. His fury painted him as a desperate figure clinging to a title while the ground beneath him crumbled. Yet, through all of his bluster, he still refused to take the one simple step, a DNA test that could silence every critic and restore what little credibility they still had. And that refusal spoke volumes. It screamed fear. It whispered scandal. The defense Meghan and Harry cling to? Privacy. But really, privacy? From a couple who sold their wedding photos, aired their trauma live for Oprah, and handed Netflix cameras access to their most intimate family moments? Now, suddenly, a routine DNA test is a sacred line they can't cross? The contradiction was laughable, insulting even. Because here's the real tragedy. This didn't have to happen. All of it, every rumor, every whisper, could end tomorrow with one simple act, one DNA test, one transparent moment of honesty. And yet they keep running, keep hiding, keep suing, and in the process they've turned what could have been a fairy tale chapter into a constitutional nightmare. Now the monarchy itself teeters under the weight of their secrecy, because a monarchy built on questions cannot stand. The British crown survives only when every link in the chain of bloodlines is certain, undeniable, beyond doubt. And Meghan and Harry, with every silence, every lawsuit, have chipped away at that certainty. The irony? By trying to protect their image, they've destroyed it. By clinging to secrecy, they've set fire to the very foundation they thought they could manipulate. Angela Levin's Bombshell wasn't just gossip, it was a detonation, and its aftershocks are still rumbling. Contracts collapsing, Hollywood doors slamming, reputations shredded. The golden couple of Montecito now looks like a toxic investment, radioactive in every sense of the word. And the future? It's bleak. If Parliament decides to intervene, Archie and Lilibet could lose their places in the succession line entirely. If the truth comes out in court, the Sussex empire may crumble for good. But until then, one thing is crystal clear. This scandal isn't just about Harry and Meghan. It's about the future of the monarchy, and the monarchy cannot survive in shadows. One test, one cotton swab, one undeniable truth, that's all it would take. But until Harry and Meghan face it, every whisper becomes louder, every doubt becomes sharper, and every day the monarchy itself grows weaker. Because maybe, just maybe, they already know. The truth could burn their empire to ash, and that's why they keep running. The royal couple who thought they could outsmart the system now find themselves cornered by the one thing they cannot escape, the demand for truth. And trust me, this scandal, it's far from over. If you think Angela Levin's revelation was explosive, wait until the next chapter. The evidence keeps piling up, the pressure keeps building, and Harry and Meghan's silence, it's only making everything worse. So what do you think? Should Harry and Meghan finally take the DNA test? Or is their silence already the answer the world has been waiting for?